Merry Christmas to all of my seekers and confessors out there, and welcome back to another episode of All the Things Sort of Truth. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And this week we're going to be getting into Chapter 19 of Wizard's First Rule. And Jade and I were just laughing just before hitting the record button about how this is probably the worst possible choice for an episode that's going to air on Christmas Day. So we're going to do our best to keep it light.
Yeah, it's a little bit of heavy material, but we're going to plow right through it.
Yep, as long as we can all laugh and drink beer, I think we'll be fine.
Yes. Snuggle up with your new Christmas items and your children.
Just like a nice cocoon of Christmas around you to protect you from everything we're about to say.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cheers. Merry cheers.
Merry cheers.
So, we don't really have any new news. Again, we were hoping that the store was going to be open for all of us for Christmas. I don't know. It's not. Hopefully in the new year, it will be. Also, speaking of the new year, we will be making a renewed effort on our social media pages. Holidays get busy. I just have started my new job. We are going to be spending a lot more time focusing on communicating with you guys and building our community, because we really appreciate you guys listening and being out there.
Yeah, all the feedback has been awesome so far. It really makes our day whenever we see somebody send us a message. We're like, oh my God, did you read that one? And kind of to tie into that, we've decided on a day and a time that we're going to go live. And we know that it's super short notice, but we've decided that this coming Friday, that will be Friday, December 27th at 8 p.m., we are going to go live for sure on Spreaker.com. You can just search up All the Things and find us on there. We are also going to try to go live on Facebook. We haven't quite worked out all the stuff we need to do that yet through the mics and the computer and Facebook, and I'm doing my best learning, but I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But for sure, we will be on Spreaker.
Yeah, we want to have a little Christmas fun episode with everybody who wants to have a little chit-chat. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about with us, send it our way so we can prepare for that.
Right, so we can prepare. Literally anything is fine. We won't be doling out medical advice, but other than that, you know.
You don't want us to.
Yeah, no. We're good for an opinion or two on the Sort of True series, but other than that, yeah, no. At least
beer.
Yeah, and beer. Beer. I have an opinion on some beer. You guys want to talk beer? I'm fine with that.
So yeah, grab yourself a couple beers and join us on Friday. But I think that about does it for the news, so we can jump right into the super, super fun chapter.
I got the spirit from this chapter. Well, I don't really know what to say for the synopsis here, other than we finally get to meet King Douche himself. The bad guy. It's Darken Rahl.
Yeah, he's not just an elusive dude anymore. We get inside his mind a little bit. And I, again, love the way that Chuchuvius? Chuchuvius. I can't do it.
It's it's not Chuchuvis. It's Chuchuvis.
I like the dude that does the audible. I like the way he says Darken Rahl's lines.
Oh, yeah. If you guys haven't listened to the audible, I was going to say severely for the weirdest. Severely check that out. Demand it. God damn it. What are you doing with your life? Listen to this book. I really recommend you guys listen to him because Sam Chuchuvis does a fucking awesome job of making you hate every single line that Darken Rahl says for this whole chapter.
Yeah, he's got like a sinister, weird little thing in his voice. I don't know how to describe it.
There's like a greasiness to it. His voice is actually described as liquid.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you get. I was like, ooh, I fucking hate that guy.
It's like sliding into your ears.
Right. Ugh. Makes you feel dirty. I need a shower. And you would, I feel like, after meeting this guy, you would want to take a fucking shower.
Yeah.
Because gross. All right. Well, our chapter begins in a crypt. Super cheery atmosphere for Christmas. Yay.
It's like a really nice crypt, though.
Yeah, it is kept pristine. It's described as having ornate brackets, pink granite, which I guess I didn't know was a thing.
I only know because I remember having my earth science class.
Where you learned about rocks.
Yeah, I like that class.
But there was also 57 white roses that were replaced daily to represent how old the guy who was in the middle of the crypt was when he died.
Right. They're like crazy about these roses. In this whole room, there's like a real heavy layer of like obsession with how well this room has to be kept up.
Yeah, the attendants, they had to be vigilant in keeping up with these rose petals, because if one fell on the floor and the room was besmirched by that in any way, they'd fucking get killed for it.
Right.
And the guards that were placed in the room would make sure that the person who was slacking on their duties and didn't pick up that petal, like, immediately, within a few moments, I believe, is how the chapter actually said it. You'd take them away and kill them without hesitation.
I kind of, in my head, had an image of, you know those, the ball dudes at a tennis match?
Yeah, the ball boy.
Yeah.
He runs out and grabs the ball and then runs to the other side to clean up the area that they play in.
Yeah, I feel like the attendants in this room are kind of like crouching in the corner, like ball boys, to like run out and grab the shit real quick.
Just waiting to like run.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, and I mean, the motivation's there. You know, you're waiting to catch that fucking rose petal. They probably make a game of it. I'm going to catch it before it even hits the ground.
Well, I mean, they should. If they don't, that's probably the only joy that's going to be in their lives, period. Yay, Christmas.
Yeah, yay. But yeah, so this is a job that's filled by just Daharan people. The benefit of it is that, well, at least it'll be a quick death. And I guess this was because long deaths were feared and common.
Like long, drawn-out, tortured shit.
Yay! Our king is a good guy.
Yay!
But new recruits had to have their tongues cut out, which is super. And I feel like if you joined up because you didn't want to have a long, torturous, agonizing thing happen to you, that wouldn't be a thing you would look forward to. That would probably be long and torturous and agonizing and take a long-ass time to heal. It's your tongue.
Well, you wouldn't be able to tell anybody that you regretted it, though.
That's a good point. That's true.
Other than they're really skilled in, like, Daharan sign language.
Probably just the gun motion at the head, right?
Yeah,
Like,
at least that.
This really hurts. I'm just going to let the flower fall to the floor, and we're going to call this good.
Yeah. I've had my fill.
So, when the master was home, is he the king? You never hear anybody say King Rahl.
I don't think he's a king, per se. He's just, like, the dude in charge. Whenever somebody's called master, though, there's definitely a whole different layer there.
A slave mentality?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He immediately goes from, like, oh, he's just, like, the benevolent leader to, like, that's a bad dude.
It takes away the chance of any democratic election type selection, and he's the master. So none of these people obviously have a choice in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a sidebar. I thought it was interesting. So when the master was home, he would visit the dead, and no one was allowed to be in there. Any torch going out or petal falling while he was there resulted in an execution. So not only did these people have to clean up right the fuck away after it happened, if something fell while he was in there, they would also be killed for it. So they would have to be like preening these flowers and making sure none of them were even ready to fall by the time he walked in there.
Yeah. Whole other level of psycho, though. Like, these people, obviously, other than preparing, don't have any control over, like, the torch, unless you just make sure the torch has a ton of pitch on it or whatever.
Right. Oh, right. Exactly. Like, how can you hold these people accountable to something they couldn't help while they were not allowed in the room?
Because you're a psycho. That's how.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
That does explain it. But the tomb is badass. It's like, has this weird floaty look, and it's glowing. Symbols were carved all around the room that were instructions passed down from a father to a son on going to the underworld. Like, it's not so bad, kiddo. Come on. You get all these lanterns or torches, and people are freaked out to, like, drop shit on your floor. It's great. It's super clean. Only a few people understand this language, though, these symbols.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's like a royal language.
Yeah.
Or like an ancient one.
Yeah, ancient.
And, well, that's pretty much because he killed anybody else that understood it.
He was like, you're not going to... When I read that, too, I was like, oh, because he's, like, terrified they're going to sneak into his dad's tomb and, like, read his shit.
Don't read my wall.
Fuck you.
He just goes to the bar one night and is like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm the king. Nice to meet you. Question, can you read? Oh. Huh. Larry? Yeah, we got another one.
He just walks around with, like, a slip of paper in his pocket with some weird symbols on it. He's like, can you read this?
What does this say? You are going to be murdered. Oof.
Shit.
So while he was in there, 2 of his personal guards stand at the doors.
Which is a little bit contradictory to the fact that, like, 2 seconds ago, they were like, nobody's allowed in there.
Nobody's allowed in there except you, and you're cool. You can stay, but only for a minute, and you're all right, too.
I mean, I know they're his personal guard, but I don't know. It was a little confusing. I was like, oh, I thought they weren't allowed in there, but they are. Okay, cool.
It did very specifically say nobody is allowed in there. And I know I had already kind of dug up the lead on this one, but it is Darken Rahl, and he's wearing a white robe with gold embroidery, and he's got his curved knife that we heard about. That's also inscribed with symbols with him. He has blonde hair and painfully handsome blue eyes.
Yeah, 2 things. Number 1, again, Terry's like, this dude's hot, okay?
Super attractive bad guy.
Number 2, the fact that they bring up the carved knife is inscribed with symbols, maybe that's when he makes people read. He, like, pulls it out.
Oh, he keeps it with him.
He's like, can you read this shit? Cool,
yeah, it says, you're fucked. Oh, no.
Figured it out.
Oh, what a terrible thing. Be like, hey, what is this? What does the barrel of my gun say?
Right?
Wrong house, motherfucker. Oh, well.
There you go.
So, the thing about Darken, when he's not hanging out with his dead dad, killing people for letting flowers fall on the ground, and asking people if they can read his curved knife, he's banging a lot of chicks. Yeah, he'd probably pull some, being in charge. Unfortunately, though, not all of the girls that he is with want to be. So he's like raping people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do to cheer up rape with Christmas. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My brain went there for a second and I was like, no, he's just a big piece of shit.
Yeah.
So he would take anybody he wants. And if they showed the slightest bit of disgust at his looks, then he would have them entertain him in other ways. And, well, we know he has the knife, so I think y'all can guess what he's probably doing.
He's a little sadistic, so yeah.
Yeah. And apparently he got that from his dad, because him and his dad just thought women were vessels for seed. That's such a gross way of putting it. But that's all they were for. They were there, they were baby makers, and other than being nice to look at, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
He's got no intention